Hi guys, this is the interim review for the first half, page 1, 2, and 3. Starting with question 1. The figure below shows two parallel lines intersected by a transversal. If the measure of angle 7, that's this one, is 42 degrees, find angle 3 and angle 4. Okay, so a couple things here. When we know one angle measurement in a parallel line cut by a transversal, we can figure out all of the other ones. So why don't we just go ahead and figure out all of them? So if you look at angle 7 and angle 5 are vertical angles. That means they're congruent. So angle 5 is also 42 degrees. They're both 42 degrees. Okay? Angle 7 and angle 8 are a linear pair. So that means that they add up to 180 degrees. So to find angle 8, you can subtract from 180. (180 minus 42 is 138. So angle 8 is 138 degrees. Okay, angle 8 and angle 6 are also vertical. So that means that this one is also 138 degrees. Now, these four angle relationships here, not angle relationships, these four angles, 5, 6, 7, and 8, are exactly the same as the ones on the top, right? So let's say angle 5 is on the top of this intersection, right? It's on the top right. So angle 2 is also on the top right. So angle 2 and angle 5 are the same. We call those corresponding. One inside, one outside. So angle 2 is also 42 degrees. And then you can just literally copy the rest. So this one's 42, so that means this one is 138. So that means angle 3 and angle 4 are 42 degrees and 138 degrees. These two intersections are exactly the same, and all their angle measurements are the same too. So angle 3 is 138, and angle 4 is 42. That's D. Okay, number 2. Which equation below will have only one solution? So we have to do a little bit of solving here. I'm going to choose to look at B and D first. So let's say B is negative 3x equals negative 3x plus 9. Let's see if this gives us one solution. Okay, variables over here, the constants here. My variable term on the left is negative 3x, and on the right is also negative 3x, but I do need to change the sign of this one since it moved to the other side. My constant term is just positive 9. Alright, now you add everything up, negative 3x plus 3x. The variables cancel out, and you get just 0. 0 equals 9. That type of equation is called no solution. So it's not B. Now let's look at D. 2x equals 19. Here, I mean, you can do the variable constant method, but you only have one of each. And when you only have one of each, that means it's time to simplify and divide. Divide by 2. And x equals 19 divided by 2 is 9.5. So whenever you have something where you get an answer, like the variables don't cancel out, like they did over here, that means that you just have one solution. So your solution here is x equals 9.5. So D is the one that has one solution. If you notice, on all of the other ones, on A, B, and C, they have the exact same variable term. So negative 3x and negative 3x, negative 1x and negative 1x, 1/2 x and 1/2 x. Whenever you have the same variable terms on both sides, that means it's either going to be no solution or infinite solution. So that's just a little shortcut. But the answer here is D. Okay, given that lines L and M are parallel and the measure of angle C is 72 degrees, Which statement is true? Okay, let's go through these. A says that angle A is 72 degrees also. Now, A and C are vertical angles, and vertical angles are equal. They are congruent. So that's true for sure. So we'll circle that one. But maybe we have more than one correct answer. This one says that the measure of angle B is 72 degrees. Nope. Angle B is not 72 degrees because angle B and angle C form a straight line, which means they need to add up to 180. 72 plus 72 is not 180. So it's not B. C says that the measure of angle E is 108. Okay? We know that this is not 108 degrees because angle C and angle E are alternate interior angles. And alternate interior angles are congruent. Let's rewrite this. Congruent. There's the congruent symbol. Congruent means that they are the same. They equal each other. They're the same, like, number. The congruent angle relationships are alternate interior, AI, alternate exterior, AE, vertical, and corresponding. The supplementary angle relationships are SSE, same side exterior, SSI, same side interior, and LP, linear pair. C and E are alternate interior, which means they're congruent. So this can't be 108 degrees. It's actually 72 degrees. And then D says angle G is 108. That's also false because C and G are corresponding, and corresponding angles are congruent. Okay, number 4 asks you to solve for x. Rewrite it over here. 3 parentheses x plus 10 equals 3x plus 10. Okay, you always have to distribute when you have parentheses before you do anything else. So 3x, 3 times 10 is 30, and that equals 3x plus 10. I'm already noticing that I have a positive 3x variable term on both sides, so this equation is going to be a special type. It's either no solution or infinite solution. I don't know yet. I need to solve. Okay, so my variables and my constants. My variable term is 3x and negative 3x when I move this. My constant is negative 30 when I move it, and positive 10. Just as I thought, the variable term 3x and negative 3x cancels out. That becomes 0. Negative 30 plus 10 is negative 20. This is not a true statement. 0 does not equal negative 20. That's false. So that means that this is no solution. That has to be C. Okay, that was page 1. Okay. Number 5, solve for x. I'm going to rewrite that over here. 5x minus 10 equals 3x plus 2. No parentheses here, so I don't have to distribute. So variables, constants. My variables are 5x and negative 3x. Constants are positive 10 and positive 2. Add these together, 5 plus negative 3, and you get 2x equals 12. Divide by 2, and x equals 6. That's B. Okay. C, line M and N are parallel. Which of the listed angles also measure 162 degrees? So first of all, the vertical, the one across from it, is also going to be 162. So since these two are, that means that the corresponding angles to these are also going to be 162 degrees, and in the top, that's these two. They're both 162. So that's angle A and angle B. And this one. But it doesn't have a letter there, so it's not included. Just A and B. Okay, which equation will have infinite solutions? Now, remember, infinite solution is when it's like exactly the same number on both sides, or exactly the same on both sides. So, the only one that's exactly the same on both sides is B. 9x equals 9x. For A, it has the same variable term, but when you solve it, you will get 0 equals 9, and that's no solution. Okay, number 8, solve for x. Rewriting it. Okay, a lot going on here. First thing we need to do, though, is distribute. We can't do anything before that. So we get 1/2 x. I'll change it to 0.5. Minus 1 equals 3x plus 5 minus 2x. Now I can do my variable and constant. Okay, my variable term is 0.5x. And then I have a 3x, which becomes negative, and a negative 2x, which becomes positive. My constants are a negative 1, which becomes positive 1, and a positive 5. I'm running out of room. Okay, 0.5 plus negative 3 plus 2 is going to be, I believe, negative 0.5, negative 1, yeah. Negative 0.5 x equals 6. Then you divide by negative 0.5, and you get x equals negative 12. That's D. You guys, don't get freaked out by the decimal. You can put all of that in your calculator. Okay, I'm going to rewrite the next one over here because I think we might run out of room. We'll put the squiggly line there. Okay, so it's 8 parentheses x minus 3 equals 10x plus 12 minus 6x. And we know we have to distribute first before we do anything. So 8x minus 24. Variables, constants. My variables are 8x, 10x make it negative, negative 6x make it positive. My constants are negative 24, make it positive, and 12. Now add everything up. You get 4x, 8 plus negative 10 plus 6, and 36. Okay, 36 divided by 4 is 9. X equals 9, which is C for number 9. Okay, number 10. Lines M and N are parallel and cut by a transversal L. Which statement is true? So this one's 82.5 degrees. So this says, A says angle A equals 82.5. That one is false. So 82.5 is not this one because this is vertical to F. So this one is 82.5. And F corresponds to C. So that means that A has to be whatever 180 minus 82.5 is. Okay? So it's not A. And then it says, which one is true? Angle B is 97.5. Angle B is corresponding with this, so that means the angle B is 82.5 degrees, not 97.5. This one says angle C is 82.5. Yes, that one is true because this angle and angle C are alternate interior angles, and those are congruent. Okay, next page. Okay, these are over exponents. So it says which equation below is false. So for this one, it's 2 to the 5th power, which you guys remember this is 2 times 2 times 2 times 2 times 2. And then 2 to the 12th power, which is 12 2's. So I'm not going to write all those out, but what you get when you add all those 2's together is 2 to the 17th power. So this one is true. So it's not that one. Okay? B says 2 to the 14th power divided by 2 to the 20th power. Now here's where, if you wanted to, you could expand all these because this is dividing. So 2 to the 14th power, that's 1, 2. I'm just expanding out all these 2's. Let me double check and make sure that's 14. Yep, and then 22's on the bottom. Okay, and then cancel them out. Cancel, 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 cancel. Okay. And then what you're left with is nothing on the top, so just a 1, and z to the 6th power, or sorry, 2 to the 6th power on the bottom. So that one's actually true also. So it's not B. Okay, C has the parentheses and then the exponent on the outside. So remember when you have the parentheses with the exponent on the outside, you distribute and multiply the exponents. 4 times 5 is 20, so 2 to the 20th power. That one's true also, so it's not that one. And then D says 2 to the power of negative 3. Remember, when you have a negative exponent, you have to make it a fraction. So this is definitely false. 2 to the power of negative 3 becomes a fraction, and you put it on the bottom to make it positive. So this one is false. That's the right answer. Okay. Again, with a negative exponent for number 2, it's 3 to the power of negative 4. We need to make this a fraction. So 3 to the power of negative 4 becomes a fraction. And we need to make this positive by putting it on the denominator. So put it on the denominator and put a 1 on the top. Make it a fraction. So 3 to the 4th power is 3 times 3 times 3 times 3, which is 81. So this gives us 1 over 81, D. Standard form just means like not in an exponent anymore. It means like a normal number or fraction. Okay. 8 to the 4th power times 8 to the 12th power. You guys already know to expand these out. 8 to the 4th power is 8 times 8 times 8 times 8. 8 to the 12th power is 12 eighths. So when you add all those up, you get 8 to the 16th power, which is A. Okay, another one which is not true. Let's look and see. So A is 4 to the 9th power times 4 to the 3rd power. 4 to the 9th power, remember that's 9 fours, and 4 to the 3rd power is 3 fours, and 9 plus 3 is not 27. So A is not true. 4 to the 9th power times 4 to the 3rd power is 4 to the 12th power. Okay? Another negative exponent. This is definitely going to be on your interim, guys. So we need to make it into a fraction. 6 to the power of negative 3, fraction, put a 1 on the top, and make it positive. So it's definitely a fraction, so it's not A or C. 6 to the third power is 6 times 6 times 6, which is 216, not 18. Be careful. Don't do 6 times 3 because this is an exponent. Okay. This one, 3 to the second power raised to the third power, divided by 3 to the fifth power. So we need to get rid of the parentheses first. So the parentheses has a 3 on the outside, so we need to distribute and multiply the exponents. 2 times 3 is 6, so 3 to the sixth power over 3 to the fifth power. And go ahead and expand this. So 3 to the sixth power is 6 3s. 3 to the fifth power is 5 3s. And then cancel, 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 cancel. And you're just left with 1 3, or 3 to the first power, which is A.